Good morning. My name is Pastor Fred. I'm one of the pastors here at Cornerstone Christian Church, and this is Sean Quill. He's one of the men on our current elder board. Every week we take an offering. We pray over it, we explain that this is an act of worship, and we pass the plates. But rarely do we take any time to talk about the philosophy and the theology and the purpose behind giving. In a word, I would say that as elders, we want your giving to the church to be regular, to be proportional, and to reflect God's view of the importance of the church. First, we want your giving to be regular. Giving to charity often happens because there's a great need, like the current hurricane and the needs in Haiti. We often feel moved to give to something like that, and that's entirely appropriate. But our Sunday morning regular worship giving is different than that. This is giving as an act of worship. We do it regularly. We don't do it in response to something specific. We don't do it just because there's a need. We're not doing it as charity. We're doing it as an act of worship.
In Matthew 6:21 it says, "For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." And so it's important, I think, for it to be regular, for you to give on a regular basis. And as a family, we certainly aim and aspire to do that we give each Sunday, and that is the first thing that we do with our money. And we honor God in that by making it a regular discipline in our life.
And in that same way, it's proportional. Proportional meaning that before you come to church, you've set aside a certain amount of your funds to give to God as an act of worship. You've often heard people talk about tithing. Tithing is a term that means a tenth, because in the Old Testament, people had to bring a tenth of various amounts of their crops and things like that. And that tenth meant this belongs to God and it's my act of worship. Now, if we were to say you need to give a tenth of your money to church, if you've never given to church, that's going to seem impossible. You're going to think there's no way I could survive if I gave that much money away. Now, you would survive, but it doesn't feel that way. So rather than argue about how much to give, I would rather concentrate on encouraging you to begin this process. So set a percentage, pick a percentage, 3%, 4%, 5%, whatever. Pick a percentage, figure out what that number is, and decide to give that percentage regularly.
You know, we even found as a family that we started with our children. I mean, with our oldest, we took 3 mason jars and we created it so that she would have, when she got her allowance, that she would get money that she saves, money that she spends, and money that goes back to the Lord.
So we want it to be regular, but we want it to be proportional. And we said the other thing is we want it to reflect the importance of the church in God's plan. All of us as leaders give to lots of different organizations, all that are doing the work of the Lord. We recognize we do that, and as a church we do. We've often said that when you give to the church, 20% of everything you give goes directly to missions. So we as a church give to organizations, and a lot of our people give to organizations as well. And so you may find that within that percentage, some of it goes to this organization, some of it to that. I would challenge you, though, to make sure that the largest percentage breakdown of what you give goes to the church first. And that's not because we're better than anyone else, but the church is foundational. If the church collapses, everything else collapses. If we aren't successful, we can't support all those other missionaries. So while we recognize that you'll give to a lot of places and we bless that, we want you to take seriously your responsibility to give to your local church.
You know, the local church and our church here at Cornerstone plays a really critical role in the place of our families, in the place of individuals in their lives. And in order to meet those needs, in order to respond when we're called upon, you know, it's important to have the funding for people and for programs, for outreach, and for the facilities, to keep these facilities here. And you know, so that is one of the things that we're looking at as the elders, is how do we continue to maintain and even grow those over time. And with your support, with regular giving, and with a mindset of generosity among our people, we can continue to do more. We can not only do what we're doing now, but we have a vision in place, and we would like to see Cornerstone be able to do even more in our community, to be just a rock here in Wyckoff, and also to do more in the future. And it's only with the support of our church that we can do that.